Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for Manchester United against Crystal Palace. I hope you're all ready for this. Look, who knows what's going to happen. It's a very different Crystal Palace side that we played on Tuesday night. They will be better. There is no doubt about that. It's a different Manchester United side as well. We've got the return of Rashford, the return of Bruno. But obviously, as you can see from on the screen there are limitations as well. Quite namely, the fact that we've got Amrabat having to play at left back, Mason Mount playing in the midfield. So yeah, lots to look. We've got to win this game. That's the bottom line. We've got to win the game, and I'm very encouraged to see Pellistri starting on the right hand side. I think he deserves that chance. We know Anthony's back now, and I think it's really important that Pellistri takes this opportunity today. I quite like that front four, to be honest with you. There's nothing that bothers me about that. Instantly, I'm worried about the back four because it's not as strong as it could be. Having said that, I think Deleu's reliable, Lindelof's reliable, Varane's our best centre-back, Onana's our goalkeeper, and Amrabat will do a good job at left-back. But the place I instantly focus in on is the is Mason Mount in the midfield. And I know about the Ten Hag obsession. I just don't necessarily know about a midfield three that has got that type of a structure to it. I hope it's going to work. I think it leans towards more possession and more attack. It should be workable at home with Mount, Bruno and Casemiro. I mean, you should be able to play those three at Old Trafford. If we were away at Anfield, I'd be terrified that we're going to get run over in the midfield. But look, that's the only place I look at and go, that's something we've got. It's the old thing, isn't it? We've got to pick up the midfield runners. We've seen that time and time again, and we're going to have to do it time and time again. We're going to have to pick up those runners, and we have to play better in the midfield. It's a great opportunity, and we need to win. There's no two other ways about it. We've got to win this game today, and I firmly think that we can do it. But I mean, look, a draw isn't even good enough, is it? We played well on Tuesday night, and I think we will win today. I think we have to win, and I think we will win. I think we've got the freshness back, hopefully. I know we've got a lot of injuries, but I still look at that side and go, you know what? I still think it's good enough to beat this Crystal Palace team. And hopefully that's what we're going to see happening, because we certainly do need it. I mean, just watching Aston Villa Brighton, which I've just been watching on That's Football, there's a very, very, very big gap opening up at the top. We're 5 points off Arsenal in 6th today. And we've got to start winning, because I think teams are playing better than us and they're further ahead than us at the moment. And therefore, you look at that league table, how it looks at the moment. We're in 9th place with 9 points. You've got Arsenal on 14, Villa are up to 15 now, Brighton's still on 15. We can't afford not to win games like this. So we absolutely have to go and win today. In the context of what we're trying to achieve, absolutely yes, we have to go and win, and I expect us to do it. I think that, I've took Marcus Rashford out of my fantasy Premier League side, but part of me thinks that that's going to work the way it always works. He'll score a goal today. I have got Højlund and Bruno in my team, and look, I think we will win, but I don't want to disrespect Crystal Palace. If we look at their lineup today, it's a very different side to what played us on Tuesday night, and we've made our changes as well, so I don't want to over-egg the pudding in the sense that Palace are a different side, but it's a completely different back four. Mitchell, Ward, Anderson, Guehi, I don't think any of them started on Tuesday night. Decore did, Hughes didn't, Ayew did, Schlupp did, Eze didn't. So, to be honest, their front five is pretty much the same apart from Eze. It's their defence that's stronger, and we did stop them from attacking a lot in that game. So Mitchell did start, Alfito. I wasn't being literal. What I'm saying is it's a much changed defence, is my point. But yeah, they haven't got Edouard, and I think that's a big loss for them. I think that Mateta looked crap for Palace, and hence he'll go and score a hat-trick now. But my point being, the only time Mateta caused any problems was against Maguire and Evans for pace, and I don't think that's a problem that we should be facing off with Lindelof and with Varane. So hopefully we'll be fine. Why are people saying Rashford will expose Amrabat? Says Lil. Got no idea. I mean, look, I'm not overjoyed with Amrabat playing at left back. I wasn't overjoyed with Amrabat playing at left back on Tuesday. I completely understand the necessity of it, but I think with life, you can have a preference, you can have a frustration. I don't want to see Mason Mount and Casemiro as our midfield two. I want to see Amrabat and Mason and Casemiro as our midfield two. Am I concerned? Look, I think sometimes we've seen it before with Van Gaal and Herrera. We saw it with Martial and Mourinho. And we saw it with Ollie, with McFred and Magaluf. Sometimes, as fans, we've got a very clear idea about how we should be lining up, and the manager doesn't go along with it, and it's frustrating. It's way too early to think that Amrabat won't start for Man United because he's going to play Mount, Bruno and Casemiro. But it wouldn't surprise me if he did, because I keep saying this, we're not going to play the diamond. He's going to have Anthony on the right, Rashford on the left, Højlund through the middle. So he's going to play a midfield three. He's obsessed with Mason Mount. So where's Mason Mount going to play? And, we might have weeks of Amrabat playing at left back, is my point, as he integrates Mason Mount into the midfield three. Now, Mason Mount in the midfield three might work. That might be what Ten Hag's vision is. But I want to see Amrabat and Casemiro, because I've watched United for the last year. And the reason we keep getting battered is because we don't win the midfield battle and we don't pick up the midfield runners. And I don't think Mason Mount can do that. I think he hopefully can do it in games like this. But there's no point moaning about it today because, I heard some people saying we could have played Maguire at centre-back, Dalot left-back and Lindelof right-back and put Amrabat in the midfield. Yeah, I suppose that's a fair point, but then you're picking Harry Maguire at centre-back, which a lot of people, if he makes a mistake, will go, why has he done that? So I think he's picked the right team. I just wish we had a fit left back so we could put Amrabat in the midfield, because I think it makes a big difference. I don't think we'll ever see how good we can be this year with all these injuries. Like you said yesterday, too many games will just keep getting hurt, says Ivan. Yeah, and look, that's not a criticism. I said it on the show last night. I think that we are going to really struggle to see United play at their best 11, because every week it feels like we lose a couple of different players, and it's hard to form stability. Unruly, thank you very much, has been a member for 12 months. Thank you very much. Score predictions, get them in the chat. I think I went United 2-0. I went with United 2-0 the other night as well, but I'm going to go United 2-0. We've got such a collection of games at the moment at home, and I always fancy us at home. I know Brighton beat us at home a few weeks ago, but Crystal Palace are not Brighton. We should have a lot of the ball. We should create chances, and therefore I'd back us to win the game. And I would hope that today is a clean sheet. I know we've got injuries at the back, but as I say, Amrabat at left back is very capable. Varane is our best centre back. Lindelof has been very, very consistent, and Dalot is a very good deputy. And then you've got Casemiro in front of him. I really think that this game should be a 0 win, i.e. 1-2, 3-0. I think that's what we've got to look at. But yeah, I think the one area that I'll be keeping my eye on the most is the midfield. I don't think that Palace midfield is terrible with Eze, Hughes and Decore, and we need to be, not reliant on Casemiro. Bruno and Mount have got to put a shift in. Let's keep an eye on Anderson. He's brilliant. Let's bring him in next summer, says Carlos. And we should see Amrabat as an inverted fullback today, pack the midfield and dominate. Thoughts on this possibility? I wish Erik ten Hag had a clear play style, says James. Well, we did do that the other night, didn't we? We did do that with Amrabat, and hopefully we will do it again, because I think we all want to see that. I know Beth was very happy with the team because she likes Mason Mount, but I don't. It's not the midfield I would want to see. I want to see Amrabat in there. So if we can invert him in again, I think that's a positive. But as I say, for me today, it's about getting the win, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody else. Get the result, get the win, move on. Happy days. Anthony's at Old Trafford to watch the game, according to the Manchester Evening News. Lindelof's spoken about Amrabat. I'm more looking for Ten Hag's comments before the game. Yeah, no. was just talking about the Carabao Cup. There's nothing pre-game coming in from Ten Hag at the moment. The bench, obviously, not many defensive options there. Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire, McTominay, Ericsson and Mabry are there. Garnacho is there as well. Martial is there. Eric Ten Hag has spoken now, just ahead of the game. He says, we are looking for similar performances from Tuesday, but we have to improve. At this stage in the season, you have to improve, and now hopefully we have a foundation that we can build upon. I think, look, my stance with Mason Mount has always been that this is a player that Eric Ten Hag really, really wanted, and therefore it is a player that we will back anyway, because that's what this club does. But also, this is probably his number one signing. Now, people need to get their head around that, and I think Ten Hag will be very encouraged and happy that Mason Mount is back, and I've got to be honest, it's not the return of the player I would want, but he's very happy about that. So hopefully we're going to start to see something going on. I thought he played reasonably well the other night. GOLDBRIDGE, it's your boy Cal. Thank you very much. Out of context, are you going to watch Cricket World Cup? No. Ayush, I'm not. No, I probably won't. If I'm being honest. 2-0's my score prediction today. Man United. Get rid of you. Bye, Chris. And Andre, thank you very much for being a member for 6 months. We need a team performance today. Should Cruz, if that's the case, has played out. I disagree with you on that. I'm sorry to be harsh, but I disagree with you on that one. I think that when I look at it, I am very much feeling that I think people get carried away with themselves, is my point. I think that we have this obsession with, we've got to play good football. We've got to play good football. We don't have to play good football. I don't think we're at that point where we should be going, we've got to play good football. I still think it's a bonus. We were crap against Burnley last week, but we got the thing that mattered, which was a result. And I think the same thing to me happens today, in the sense that it's just winning. Winning is the thing that matters. I think we get too greedy. We've got to have a really good performance and win 3 or 4-0. How many times have we done that in the last 3 years? We don't do that. And I still don't, and I don't think it's going to happen overnight. If it happens, great. But I think this expectation and demand that we've got to play good football is completely and utterly realistic when you look at the upheaval and the injuries that we have in the team. We are in a position here where we need to get a result. I will take easily 1-0 crap over 4-4 dream game. And winning is the only thing, says Mac. But I think there is this expectation, we've got to start playing good football. I want us to play good football, but I don't think we have to sit here and go, it has to start happening, because I just don't think that's where we are at the moment. I think the team is changing all of the time. And it's hard to get that stability when that's happening all the time. Yeah, obviously Martinez is out for a long time. And yeah, we just got to crack on with that, haven't we? I think with... Are you shocked that Maguire's not starting? No. No. I think that we've got a... no, look. I've heard people say Harry Maguire was class on Tuesday night. You need to get out and touch grass more, really. He did okay, but Lindelof has been better than him for a long time, and Varane is our best centre-back. I mean, look, there's even a case to say that Johnny Evans should start ahead of Maguire. Johnny Evans didn't play on Tuesday night. He played against Burnley. He scored a goal. So where does Harry Maguire rank in our centre-backs at the moment? I'm sure he's going to get some game time over the next few weeks because we've got so many games to play. But I think that Ten Hag tried to sell him in the summer. I think Lindelof wasn't for sale in the summer. And I think it goes Varane, Martinez, Lindelof, and then probably Harry Maguire. Maybe Harry Maguire is fourth choice ahead of Johnny Evans. But no, I wouldn't have picked Harry Maguire today. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who'll be demanding that he should have played today. But I don't subscribe to that. I think that Lindelof 100% is playing better at the moment, and he deserves to start. And I was very impressed with Lindelof's cameo on Thursday, on Tuesday night. I thought Lindelof came on and did very, very well. So yeah, I personally wouldn't and don't have a problem with that. How long till kickoff, says Danny? We're about 10 minutes away. There is a lot of games going on actually today, so I'm just going to get my OneFootball app on here, which you can download for free. The link is in the video description. And you can scan the QR code as well. Thanks very much to OneFootball for that. Get all your latest breaking football news, score updates, etc. Let me just type it in. Yeah, lots of football going on. Arsenal are playing away from home against Bournemouth. Manchester United, obviously, we know about Man United. There is also Man City away to Wolves. I'm trying to think. Newcastle at home to Burnley as well. West Ham. I mean, look, we're not in a position at the moment where we can go, that result helps us, that result helps us. We need to just win today, and then let everything else take care of itself. Yeah, I mean, we could do with the Spurs-Liverpool draw, I suppose, later. We could do with Arsenal dropping points at Bournemouth, but really, I'm not even in that mindset at the moment. I'm sort of like, let's just take care of business ourselves and, win the game today that's in front of us and move on from there. 25,000 watching. You're absolute legends. I'm going to need this, aren't I? But yeah, look, 2-0 Man United. Get the job done. Simple as. That's what we're looking at, isn't it? Didn't read my super chat, Mark, says Aaron. Sorry, there's a lot going on at the moment, Aaron. So apologies for missing that. I like Amrabat and Casemiro close to each other, says Enjoy Writing. Top of the morning, Mark. Appreciate all you do for the stand. I feel positive for once this morning. Beautiful day, and I have a feeling we'll win 3-0, says Gummy. It would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. Minnie with the super chat says, this is the only reason I don't like Erik ten Hag. He is good but naive and stubborn. It's going to be tough today. I wish you'd told us why, Minnie. And Daniel Lee says, even losing Zaha still, some talented players there. Can't underestimate Palace. Defensively, they've been quite good this season. They've conceded the same amount of goals as Spurs, and Spurs have had a good defence. So Palace defensively are reasonably good. I think that they obviously struggle to score goals. That's been a big problem of theirs this season. And I don't think they've scored a goal in the first half this season yet. I need a Man United win today, says Kind Killer. Mark, to beat Palace, that Brighton match gave me depression. Thank you very much, Kind Killer. Appreciate that as ever. And also, what have we got? Bollocks to the Ryder Cup. Oh yeah, I've got no interest in it really. I've watched it in the past when it was close, but I think Europe are battering them, aren't they, at the moment? Is there anything tactically that you'd like to see Ten Hag employ today, says Winter Rose? Well, I love these sort of questions. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I think tactically, I would hope that we can use Amrabat in the same way that we did on Tuesday, where he does move centrally a lot. I think that would be great to see. Also, I think I would like to see us play through the lines. I know against Wolves and Arsenal, I've seen this back three, front seven scenario where everyone bombs forward and there's this huge gulf between the back line and the attack. I would like to see us playing through the lines a little bit more today, closer triangles, etc., which is sort of what we saw on Tuesday. And that would be very, very telling if it does happen, because it would be an abandonment of whatever plan he had before. Any hope of defenders being back after the international break? Also, while I back Ten Hag, could Mount be the reason he doesn't stay here long term, says Edward V. Look, Havertz is starting for Arsenal today. I think there's two managers doing very similar things, in the sense that Mason Mount and Havertz are going to be players that Arteta and Ten Hag stick with constantly. If those two players are flops, then obviously they're going to have big impacts on the managers. we need, well, we don't care about Arsenal, but we need Mount to be a success. Is Ten Hag trying to do similar to Ange at Spurs? Amrabat to come up in the midfield, Casemiro as a pivot, says Nicholas Walker. Palace will counter us, says Wahida. Well, I wasn't impressed with Mateta, so hopefully, I think Palace is. Look, I said it before the game. I'll say it. Well, it's still before the game. I said it before the game, and I'll say it now. I think the threat for them today is going to be the. If Palace are going to score goals today, it will come from Eze, great point from Mustafa, but more importantly, it's going to come from the midfield. It will come from the likes of Ayew, Schlupp, Eze. That's where Palace's threat's going to be. If they score today, I guarantee you it will come from one of those three players not being picked up in the box, which we've seen against Forest, which we've seen against Spurs, which we've seen against Arsenal, and which we saw against Brighton. The midfield is where this game will be won and lost. And I'm looking at Mason Mount next to Casemiro. He has got to put the hard yards in. And so I presume Bruno will as well. Hi from Ethiopia. Once Shaw is back, we won't be able to field Amrabat, Casemiro and Mount together. Mount should take on the role of a super sub, says Savant. Well, we're a long way away from that. But I do think it will be interesting to see how he plays it. Right, let me get the graphics rolling around on the screen, which I think they should be. They are. Good. Okay. Does Rasmus score today, says Mazwi? I hope so. Good day from Australia, Mark, says Aaron. My AFL team, Collingwood, became premiers today in a great final. Now I need a United win. Thank you, Aaron. Garnacho development stalled again with Rashi back, says Lee. Look, I never expected to see Garnacho start today. I think the fact that Pellistri is starting is great, and it could have been Garnacho. So, look, what I want to see is Garnacho coming on with 20 minutes, half an hour. That's the big thing. He scored a goal on Tuesday night. His work rate was amazing. When he fell on the ground and got up and sprinted back, he deserves to be getting more game time. We need to dominate the game from the go and take our chances in the first half. Once we start making subs in our midfield and defence, we risk goals, says the Inquisition. Mark, I don't understand Amrabat's position. Why is he playing left back if he's a midfielder, says Mark? Because we don't have any fit midfielders, basically. So that's how that's what we've got to do. We've got to pick what we've got and do what we do. Hopefully, he's probably, in the circumstances, I have to be fair, he probably is the only person that can play midfield or play left back, because we don't have anybody else. So, it probably is the right choice, if I'm being fair. But it's not how I would do it, if I'm being honest. But, I can't argue with it in a huge sense. It is what it is. We are what we are. We do what we do. Let's bring it on. Thank you, the Inquisition, for your super chat. Mark, I don't understand Amrabat has done that one as well. And Buster Boy says, hi Mark, I'm excited to see how the hard-working humility of Amrabat complements the direct threat of Rashford on the wing with a Garnacho super sub, says Buster Boy. Well, look, we're playing on Tuesday night against Galatasaray. That's a ridiculously quick turnaround, I was thinking about this. Sunday night show tomorrow really probably should be a preview for Galatasaray, because it's only 48 hours away. And if we leave it till Monday night, it's the night before. So Tuesday is coming around very quickly after Saturday. I don't want to see Marcus Rashford playing for 100 minutes this afternoon. I don't want to see Rashford play for 100 minutes. So hopefully we'll see some rotation at Old Trafford. If Rashford's scored a couple of goals or had a bad game, hopefully he comes off with 20 minutes to go for Garnacho. That's the sort of thing that fans want to see. It's not against Marcus Rashford. It's about squad rotation, isn't it? That's what we want to see. So hopefully we will start to see a little bit more than that. Sean Patterson says Brighton quit. Yeah, Brighton got beat 6-1 today. There's the United lineup. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way, and do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're ready to go here, and I'm looking forward to it. 2-0 Manchester United is what I'm going for. Let me know what you think in the chat. We just need to win. We just need to literally hang in there at the moment, and win. And I think that it's realistic that we can do that. A lot of people in the chat are saying 5-0. I'd love it. That's the sort of positivity I would absolutely love. But any win will do. Because I think having lost 3 games in the Premier League already, we've sort of put ourselves into a position where for the next few games it's about winning. And we've had Burnley, Crystal Palace today, Brentford next weekend, and then Sheffield United straight after the international break. 9 points from the next 3 will put us into a very good position when it comes to the league table, which is there. So if we take 9 points from the next 3, we're going to be on 18 points. Now, obviously, 18 points would only put us 2 points ahead of Liverpool, and they've got 3 games still to play like us. But I think three wins in a row puts us probably back into, I would say, 7th or 6th. And that gives us a good platform for the rest of the season. But we've got to win the next 3. And that for me is why I'm not massively fussed about how we play. It's about how we win. Defensive bench is sketchy. Come on, United, says Sir Ronnie Pickering. And look, I don't like to acknowledge these sort of things. I don't. But imagine if we draw or lose today. The reaction to that is going to be very, concerning, isn't it? I love the passion from Amrabat. He doesn't care where he plays. He will do a job. Fantastic signing, Irish Steve, says Blue. Thank you very much. And more, Mark, do you think there will be loads more thrashings today? City will walk away with it for sure. Come on, United, love the show, says Chris. I've not really looked at the other games, but I do think it's likely to be a Man City win. I don't know with United. I've got Rasmus to score in my podcast, GOLDBRIDGE. If you listen to the podcast, Going for GOLDBRIDGE. No, it's not called that. It's called GOLDBRIDGE Saves Football. Give it a listen. We've got a new game where I have to pick 5 goal scorers for the week, and you lot pick 5 as well, and we see how we do. I have got Højlund as one of my scorers. It's my birthday today, and all I want is a United win, says SL. Thanks for all you do, Mark. Thank you very much, mate. Happy birthday to SL. Great stuff. You're predicted Villa to win, right? Mark versus Ben Foster, says Nicholas. Yeah, I'm off to a good start on win, lose or draw. Thoughts on Pep saying players might need to strike to reduce games. Rashi should have a word on toast today, says Tom. I think players do need to strike. I said that last night. I mean, Pep's got more credibility than me. Why do United not play a 5-2-3, says Luke. And also, I think Hannibal could be a makeshift left back, says Tariq. I've gone 2-0 Blue. But no, I think players do need to go on strike. We had a really good show last night. I don't know whether anybody, has reflected on that, but we were talking quite extensively about the volume of games that players are having to play. And yeah, there should be a strike from players. I'd back it. I think the fans would back it because it's basically quality of football against, the owners who want loads of money. Mick, thank you for being a member. And let me just get rid of that. Okay. I was crying all last night's show. I'd had a few pints of Guinness. I'm not gonna apologise for the Friday night show. Otherwise, I'd be apologising all the time. Well, we'll keep you up to date with all the other scores going on as well. Obviously, there's loads of games going on. Aston Villa beat Brighton 6-1. Bournemouth are playing against Arsenal. Everton are home to Luton. Man United, Palace, obviously. Newcastle, Burnley, West Ham, Sheffield United, Wolves, Man City. It's a proper 3 o'clock Saturday. It really is a proper 3 o'clock Saturday today. Don't really get them very often. Why are we getting one? Thanks, Tobbs, for your super chat. Thanks for everyone who does the super chat, by the way. Supports the channel. Really appreciate that. You can do that through the $sign. But it's mainly because of the Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesday that a lot of the Champions League teams have got to play on a Friday. And early doors, Pelistrian down the right-hand side there, but good tackle. Thoughts on Abram Glazer pushing his dog in a pram? Says it's your boy Calv. Not seen that. Don't really want to see it. I hope that's something in your imagination. Can Leek Town have a shout out, says Ty. And Anne, welcome to the members club. How am I supposed to listen to this? 1 minute. No pass from Rashi again. Good player, Eze. I do like Eze, and I think we'll have to be very careful of him. But it's because of the Ryder Cup tomorrow, says Robert McCormack. That's why there's so many 3 o'clock games. There we go. Robert McCormack with the interesting insight there. We've got so many 3 p.m. games today because of the golf tomorrow. I presume the TV companies, Robert, want to keep it as free as possible for them. It'll be. The funny thing is, it'll be over. It's already over, isn't it? A good start from United, though. Lots of space, lots of movement. Mason Mount with a bit of a poor pass there. But there we go. SG says the time's wrong. The time is right in relation to what I'm listening to. There will be delays. It's a 3 o'clock on a Saturday. We have this every time. Well done if you get to watch it live in America and you're 20 minutes ahead of everybody else. I always sync it into what I'm listening to, and that's how it is. So the timer probably is wrong, but it's not GOLDBRIDGE mean time. It's the time I'm. If you want to sync up with me, tired of this every fucking game. If you want to sync up with me, use the timer that I'm using. If you're ahead, well done. Enjoy yourself. Fill your boots. I want a bad pass. Hoyland challenged his run, says Philip Joyce. 2-0, says Fab. Yeah, that's what I've gone with. Ideally, Man United win 6-0, Man City lose, Arsenal lose, Newcastle lose. Yeah, but I don't know about that. It's an interesting thing because I was talking about it on the watch-along for the Brighton game. I mentioned it on here as well. Arteta's picked Havertz today. And I think the Arteta, Havertz and Ten Hag Mounts signings are just so similar. They've got to work because both managers will continually pick them. Amrabat has already fallen in between Lindelof and Varane, by the way. So I think we're already seeing a very similar scenario to what we saw on Tuesday night, where Mason Mount will be allowed to push forward and Rashford's on the left-hand side here, holds on to it for too long. Yeah, so Mason Mount's going to get a lot of time to push forward because Amrabat is playing quite centrally. You're such a knowledgeable person, Mark. I love your streams, says Zape. Oh, thank you very much for actually saying something nice. It's normally the other way. Thank you very much for that super chat. Right. Oh God, whoever was the Preston fan earlier who said wishes luck today, I told you I'd jinx it. You're losing to West Brom after 4 minutes. Rashford holding on to the ball for too long. A lot of people in the chat saying, yeah. Is that a new haircut, Mark? I did have a haircut yesterday. Thank you very much for noticing. I'm one of those people that when they get the haircut, people very rarely notice it. The low whips a cross in, straight into the keeper's arms. Rashford never passes, says Pat, not Pratt. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right-hand corner, the United Stand. Live every morning at 10, every evening at 8. We're actually closing in on 750,000 subscribers, 1.75. We could hit it today, and we're only 300 away from 749 at the moment. So that's big. 1.75 million. We could hit that today. So please do subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can do it. And you can share the video if you've subscribed already. There's a share button. Share it on your socials. Thank you, everyone. I didn't realise we were very close to 1.75. Wow, what a community. I want Højlund to score a hat-trick, says Jack. I want Højlund to score. I just want to say Rasmus. Terry says, love your content. It's my go-to daily. Well, if you love the content, Terry, please do download the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football. An extra bit of content this season and really enjoying doing it. So check it out. 6 minutes in, people already getting on to Rashi, says Tevin. Well, he's getting a lot of the ball. He's got it on the left-hand side here. He did try to put a cross in there, but he was blocked, and Mason Mount wins the tackle. I still can't get used to Mason Mount wearing the number 7 shirt, by the way. I like Mount, and I'm happy to see how the signing goes, but I can't get used to the number 7 on his shirt. I can't believe they pay Mike Dean money to talk about football now. Has he not had enough? Any goals in the other games, Mark? No, it's there's no goals in the Prem so far. Every game is 0-0, of which there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other Premier League games going on today at 3 o'clock. America or Europe for the Ryder Cup, Mark, says Jamie. Well, obviously America. Obviously Europe. I am European. I wish I could say something bad about you, Mark, says Dab. Plenty do. Loving the podcast, Mark. Refreshing to hear perspectives not from the mainstream, says Billy. Yeah, we're really loving the podcast, so check it out. And, of course, we've got a Friday mini podcast that comes out now as well, where we did Premier League team of the season so far. I'm not going to spoil it. There is one player in it from this game, and it's not a Man United player. No Man United player in the Premier League team of the season so far, which is, not good enough, is it? Drasky, that's a terrible attempt to get me say something you don't want to do. Good tackle by Casemiro. Oh, he's given a foul. He's given a foul. Simon Evans, thank you very much for joining the members club. I mean, this is the inconsistency, really. You get a referee in the Villa game who would have said play on, and Villa scored a goal, and then I think it probably was a foul by Casemiro, to be fair. Our attackers simply can't feel each other, constantly passing into empty spaces in the final phase. Lack of training or intelligence, says Araki. No, I agree with Levi. It was. He's given him a yellow card as well. He's booked him. I'm going to have to tweet about this. I've had it with the officiating. I mean, I've absolutely had it. He wasn't going to book him and then decides to book him 2 minutes later. Who's this prat of a ref? Prat. Absolute prat. He wasn't going to book him. He wasn't going to book him. Oh, Palace have just had a really good chance. Cross came in. Are you going to do a Creator Club career mode? I will at some point, Luke. He wasn't going to book Casemiro, and then he decided to do it. I mean, who's marking him here? Bad mark in there. I think it's Casemiro. Whoa. Oh. Can I just say this? I'll probably get clipped up. Guess what, everybody? Guess what happened the last time we played Crystal Palace at Old Trafford? Oh, Rasmus was in and the defenders cleared it off the line. I was saying before, Ayew is always looking for yellows. Need to watch out for him, says SK. Højlund nearly scored there. Cleared off the line. But yeah, look, we need to be careful. Casemiro's on a yellow card. Last time we played Crystal Palace at home last season, Casemiro got sent off. But very close. Man United, well, Crystal Palace went very close with a header. And then Man United have just gone very close as well. Højlund was through one-on-one. Knocked it past the keeper, but the defender was there. Casemiro is the new Scholes with those tackles, says Lee. Wolves are leading against City. Yeah, I've got nothing to say. Neto. Oh, Neto again. Back of the Neto for Neto. Don't worry, Pep will fucking sign him up at half-time. He'll come out in the second half in a Man City shirt. You know it's true. Refs are crap. City players get away with worse, says Kay. No, what annoyed me about that is that it's a foul. He stands next to the foul for ages and then suddenly decides, oh, I'm going to give a yellow card. It's a good pass by Rashford into Højlund, by the way, for that chance. City are losing, yeah. What was that? You hear the other side and book him. This is very, very poor. Pathetic. Why don't you sit at dugout and let the players decide the foul, says Sheehan. Don't know what you're talking about. Hi, Mark. Loving the content. Casemiro is overrated. We need a bit of McTominay, says Gabe. Rashford with a bit of space here on the left-hand side. Holds on to the ball for too long, in my opinion, and gets crowded out. I mean, look, people will go, oh, yeah, corner, Rashford. Whoa, he was so close. He's got to get rid of the ball. He's holding on to the ball. If he scores, fine. But how many times do we see Rashford do this? He's got 4 players around him. He's trying to take them all on. There's options on the edge of the box. There's options in the box. You know, he's got to pass in them situations. You've got 4 players on you. Mount with the corner. Header, back post. Goal kick. I don't have any Man City defenders. Otherwise, I'd probably be... Well, I wouldn't be bothered. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. I think that came in from Gabe and also Sheehan. Thank you very much for that. I like Rashford, but, you know, I don't think Højlund could have done any more, right, by the way. He's done well to get it past the goalkeeper. There's not really an opportunity to get a load of power onto it. And he's done quite well. But a good start to this game. I have to say. It's a Ruben Diaz own goal for Man City, by the way. But we've had a good start. Definitely a better game than Tuesday night. There's more intensity and there's more speed to it. Yeah, definitely better. I mean, look, the Carabao Cup was enjoyable and we won, but it was always going to be a different game in the Prem. That's why I'd bin the Carabao Cup off. You know what I'm saying? I'd bin it off, man. I'll knock it out. You know what I'm saying? I'd just go like this. 1, 2, 3, bang. Out you go. Bang, bang, bang. Get out. Rashford. A lot of people getting on at Rashford. I ignore a lot of that, if I'm being honest. 86% possession for Manchester United early doors here. Rashford X button is broken. It's Dave. I love it. I've had that happen to me before. You know, I've actually had problems with the X button on my PS5. And, yeah. Boom. Come on, United. Let's have a fucking 3 points. Have it, you fuckers. Come on then. How's about some of that? Marvin's not happy with Rashford. He kills our attacks. Elliot Wallace says, did you see in the Villa game, Konza did what Casemiro got sent off against Palace yesterday and didn't even get a yellow? Elliot Wallace, Villa were brilliant. Brighton were poor. And the officiating was disgraceful. I mean, I'd like to say it's some of the worst officiating I've ever seen, but it's just standard in the Premier League. Absolute crap. Newcastle are winning against Burnley. 1-0, Almiron. Almiron for Newcastle. Just to let you know there, we've got goals coming in the Premier League, and we've got one coming in at Arsenal as well. I think Arsenal may have taken the lead here at Bournemouth. So early goals going in the Prem. Man City are losing to Wolves at the moment. Newcastle are beating Burnley, but Arsenal, I think, are 1-0 up. Just another foul there, and he's not going to book Bruno, is he? Because I've got Bruno in my fantasy Premier League. Yeah, Arsenal have scored. We'll give you the goal scorer in a minute, but Arsenal have scored against Bournemouth. It's Saka. Saka has scored. I've got him in my fantasy Premier League team. Saka for Arsenal. My big... Here we go. Rasmus is in. Slip. He's going to shoot. Oh, yeah. No, that's not a great shot. Rasmus. Rashford will be telling him off for not passing. I'd say, what, you telling me off for not passing? You never pass. You can't shout at me. You never pass, mate. So I'm having a shot. Shut up. Felicity, welcome to the members club. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously I fear a loss for United, but I also fear a draw. A draw tonight can't be good. I think Rasmus should have passed to Rashford there, by the way. Yeah, he should have passed. We're like Gandalf on that bridge in Lord of the Rings when the, what's it called, that big fire thing comes along and he goes, "You shall not pass." We can't pass. Oh, Rashford's gone down here. This is don't start going on about Garnacho. He'd be all right. I think he just banged his shin. You don't get bad injuries for a shin. He's all right. He'll be all right. It's just a connection. Bang. Funky KQ, thank you very much for joining the members club. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, you and me, we can ride on a star. Don't worry, I won't do it forever. I think Amrabat is key for us to move forward. What's your thoughts, Mark? Says Sal. Rasmus, a bit honest there. Last man, high foot, could have gone down, says Dan. Yeah, we don't want any honesty. Take the dive. Get the red card. I'm worried about Casemiro. I'm just an observation in the first 20 minutes. 20 minutes already. Just looking at those stats in the first 20 minutes, 83% is very, very good. 5 shots to 1 is very, very good. Pass accuracy, 95% is excellent. We are really, really doing well in the possession. But I'm just a bit worried about Casemiro. Really, really am. 20 minutes in, though. And, it's looking good. Really good. What were we for possession? Get it back. 83%. Palace haven't scored a goal in the first half this season. Well, I've just put a tweet out about it. I'm loving it. I'm loving the passing. I'm loving the possession. Just need the goal. Just need the goal. Palace are allergic to the ball at the moment. They must have like a leather allergy. Yeah, Wolves are still beating City. Arsenal are beating Bournemouth. And Newcastle are beating Burnley. This is something we need to work on, We saw it briefly against Brighton. We had a good first 15 minutes against Brighton. We've got to try and get the goal in the first 20 minutes when you're at home. Away from home, it's a different story. You're away from home. But at home, it's so important to get that goal in the first 20 minutes. Newcastle have done it against Burnley, Almiron. Get that goal in the first 20 minutes and, you know, the future is yours, quite literally. Rashford needs to learn how to be more of a team player. He needs to learn to create chances for others, says Sean. Need Mason back in the squad, gives us some aggression. Anyway, it's because of Rashford, says LM9. I don't know what you're talking about. Mount's doing well, Fab. I think Mount's had a good game so far. He's been moving the ball around a lot. Who's playing better? Us, by a long, long way. I love this time of year, though, don't you? You know, I love autumnal football. 3 o'clock, Saturday afternoon. I just love this time of year with football. It's great. And I just hope United can win, because that makes it even better. Get Garnacho on, says QRC. Look, I think there's a real overreaction here in relation to this whole Garnacho Rashford thing. Like, we want them both playing well. Now Rashford's got it on the left here. Crap pass. The one thing I would say in Rashford's defence, and the same thing happened with Garnacho, he's not getting an overlap. He's not getting an overlap. And, one-on-one. God, got stuck under his feet, thank God. Well done, Delo. They could have been through one-on-one there. Was it Schlupp? Hi, Mark. I've been a member for some time. Love the content. Great community. Just want our club back. Glazers out, says Anthony Stubbs. You're a legend, mate. Thanks for the message. Yellow Bathing Suit says, Mark, remember when we used to be 70th minute FC? We would score like goals around that timestamp. Yep. Second half FC as well. Nearly 40,000 watching. Thank you. Taken my... Tom, I'm not reading that. Disgusting. A super chat is not a freebie to say something vile, you know. I just won't read it, Tom. I'm not reading that. Can't stand 3 o'clocks, says Gazzy. Yeah, going back to what I was saying before, though, these sort of games are, you know, we've been playing very, very well, but you've got to score. You know, with nearly 90% possession, you've got to score. Luton have scored at Goodison Park. Fucking hell. What's going on at Goodison Park? Luton have scored. It's not a drill. Luton have scored at Everton. West Ham have scored against Sheffield United, but Luton have scored at Everton. What's going on here? I can't speak now. This is incredible. Incredible stuff. Luton have scored a football goal at Goodison. Everton are winning again. No, sorry, Everton are losing. Jared Bowen scored for West Ham there, home to Sheffield United. But Luton have scored against Everton. I couldn't even name a goal scorer for them. Lockyer. Lock your mum up, because Luton have scored. I'm not saying Luton fans like shagging mums or anything like that. I'm just, his name's called Lockyer. So I thought, a bit of a joke. Suber, welcome to the Members Club. And hi, Mark, how you doing? Says Foggy. I'm good. Look, I'm very happy with Man United's start to the game. But Palestri's been non-existent, says Judge. We're not going down the right-hand side at all. And this does annoy me because it's like, where's the balance of the team in the attack? You've got, look, well over 80% possession. Oh, fuck off! Get the fuck out! How the fuck has that happened? I mean, this is it. I was literally warning about this. I was literally warning it. We dominate the teams at home. We did it against Brighton. We did it against Palace. And they go and score first because we're allergic to scoring goals at Old Trafford first. We have to let everybody else into the game. I mean, it's a really good finish. I don't know who scores it for them. But again, it's just bad marking. It's a good finish, but it's bad marking and just unbelievable. You know, we've had 76% possession, 91% pass accuracy. I don't think he's even hit that well, you know. They're talking about an offside. We've got absolutely no chance of getting an offside, even though there's a defender in the line of his vision. We've got no chance of that. I mean, the trouble is it's straight at Onana, but I don't think he can see it. Just typical, absolutely typical. Reminds me when I'm playing the AFC. I'll dominate teams, I can't score, and then they'll have fuck all possession and go and score. JB says it's just like your career mode. It's exactly like the career mode. I will now take it as a bad sign if we have a good first 25 minutes, says Lindelof was marking space, says Mott. And why don't they show, okay, CJ, and welcome to Members Club sub here. Look, the stupid thing is, I'm sure many of you were thinking exactly the same as me. Very happy with the possession at 0-0. Very happy with the pass accuracy at 0-0. But concerned about the lack of chances being created. Were Crystal Palace panicking? No, they weren't. Were we using Palestri? No. Everything's going down the left-hand side. Like, you can have all the possession and all the pass accuracy, but if you're not creating good chances, it's dead possession. And the balance of the team is wrong. It's going to Rashford. There's no left back to overlap. We're not using the right-hand side. We've got to mix it up a little bit because I think Crystal Palace look confident and comfortable. Can you say my mate Lockie and Daniel are Prats? Love the streaks. Love the channel. Mark, you're a legend, says Sean. Thank you very much. I think Onana has to save that, by the way. It's straight at him. Should just replace our front line with the one we had at the weekend. More movements and interplay, says David. The issue isn't the players here. Ten Hag has a team more than completely dominating Palace. His balance is wrong, says Humphrey. Yeah, we need to go down the right-hand side. We need to go down the right-hand side more. The balance just isn't there. It's not there in the team at the moment. Right, is he back with Rashford? Guido says Rashford's the biggest problem. Well, he's put a good cross in there. I don't think Rashford's been terrible. I just think we need to switch things up and balance it out a bit. I still think we'll get back. It reminds me a little bit of the Forest game. You know what? It's September the 30th. That's the first time Crystal Palace have scored in the first half this season. Welcome to Manchester. Does Onana know he can use his hands as a keeper, says Jenna? Look, I'm a massive fan of Onana, but he should save that. Yeah. Tonic says we're a mid-table club. Imagine if we had a shot-stopping keeper, says Red Smurf. Look, I'm not going to do that whole we should have kept De Gea thing. I would have kept De Gea. We brought Onana in. I like Onana. I think he's a good goalkeeper, but I'm not going to lie and say he should have saved that. You know, he should have saved it. It was down the middle of the goal. You know what? On EAFC, if you played it, he's crap. And in real life, he seems to be playing crap at the moment. I don't know what it is with Onana, but he's a much better goalkeeper than we're seeing. Absolutely. Ezzy's just stormed away here. What a run. Good defending by Varane. Onana really is not a good shot stopper, says Frank C. And Onana would have trouble saving a Word document this season, says the Connor. He's getting a bit of stick there. Christopher says, can we all agree Onana is not a shot stopper? Well, would have been a remarkable save. Ball was deflected, says Natalie. And early days, but if we lose today, we are heading for a bottom half finish, says Jim Jones. Oh no, we've got to turn this performance around. We're just, Man United at the moment, we're allergic to scoring the first goal. We're allergic to using, you know, even against Brighton where we lost, we were good for 15 minutes and didn't get. You got to. Was literally talking about this before Palace scored. You've got to score the first goal. Have to score the first goal. When you're the home team, you've got to score the first goal. When you've got the possession and you've got the, you know, the game is in your hands, you've got to score first. And we don't do it. We're allergic to scoring first. No excuse if we don't win today, Mark. Non says enjoy writing. Well, I would agree. I would agree. Bad pass by Bruno. You know what annoys me, though? It's the fact that Luton are winning 2-0. Bloody hell. What's going on in this Premier League? Morris has scored for Luton. They're 2-0 up against Everton. That's incredible. Well, I'm glad we're not playing Luton. Focus on ourselves. Scratch that. Just heard his name mentioned, says Jonathan. De Gea clear. Shame how he was treated. Unfortunately, the Onana slander will grow. You called it months ago. We never needed a new goalkeeper, says Ricky. And with Amrabat tucking in, we should go down the right for more balance and creativity and rely on Rashford for clinical finishing in the box, says Ian. I don't think Amrabat has overlapped Rashford once because he can't, because he's tucking in. Which means, like, in these situations when Rashford's on the wing, like Luke Shaw overlapping would be a big help. I don't get why we're going down the left all the time when we've not got a left back that's going to overlap. It's ridiculous. No balance at all. It's all down the left and there is no... It's very one-dimensional. Very... I tell you what, if I was Crystal Palace and I was Roy Hodgson, I'd be like, I hope they keep doing this. I really do hope they keep doing it because it's not hard to defend against. Our attack is more balanced when Garnacho and Pellistri play on the wings, nothing against Rashford. No, Alfie, I still think it would be imbalanced because... You know, everything's going down the left. And it would be a better attack if we just went down the right a little bit. What is it that you like about Onana? We have zero evidence that he's any good in a United shirt, says Jack. Look, honest answer. If you just said to me a year ago, who do you think, you know, what's the sort of goalkeeper that you like? I would have said Onana. I like him. But the Premier League is he's just because somebody's good in Europe doesn't mean they're going to be good in the Prem. Have we not conceded first this season? Says Sack. And hi Mark, huge support from Norway. Can you shout out my friend Magnus and Edda? And no, that's from Axel. Thank you very much for your super chat. Let us know what you think. What you're thinking. Rashford's down, injured again here. I don't know whether he went down fouled. He's clutching the same area. He's on the foot this time. I mean, they might have a look at that. They might want to have a look at that. Surely we need to bring Fernandes in at left back. Also, really hoping in the future for a complete AI refereeing system, says Inbred. It was late on Rashford. You know, the sad thing is there'll be people in the chat that want Rashford to be injured. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. He's down at the moment. We're getting closer to 750,000. I don't think it's like... Some people are saying it's like the Gusto one. I don't think it's as bad as the Gusto one from Decore. But, you know, Gusto got the ball. I don't think it was a red, is my honest opinion. But he seemed to pull out of it a little bit. He's decent with the ball at his feet, but not good enough to excuse the fact that he's shocking at saving shots. Awful keeper, says Aaron Brown. I can't believe how quick the second half is going here. I'm feeling a bit worried, actually. Ten Hag has been way too experimental this season, says Marcus. I mean, we have had an abundance of injuries and rotation, but the fact is, for all that possession, if you score a goal, then, you know, everything's a bit different, isn't it? Michael Owen's school of commentary there. But what I mean is, I'm like, you've got to score goals in that first 20 minutes. And there's nothing that's going to change that. And we don't honestly look like we're going to score. I mean, Rasmus had a good chance, but he couldn't have done anything better. It wasn't a sitter. People, you know, uneducated football people will look at the Rasmus chance and go, he's got to score. His outstretched boot knocks it past the goalkeeper. He can't put any power on it. It's not a golden opportunity. It's a good bit of play in a difficult situation to get anything on it. Leaving players unmarked in the box over and over again, says MT90. Soucek scored for West Ham. I've got him on my bench. Fucking idiot. Anyway, but a lot of the goals we concede are very similar this season. There's a running theme. It's not marking people in the box, and it's shots that maybe the goalkeeper could have done a bit better on. And you know, we're consistently causing the same problems at the moment. But I've liked the way that we've moved the ball. I think we've moved the ball around from the back and the midfield very, very well. And that's reflected in our pass accuracy. But in the final third, not a lot going on. Rashford needs Shaw. He always ready to receive a pass, says Arnub. I'm glad that you've said that, Arnub, because it's so obvious that we've got there is no fullback overlapping on that side. So Rashford never has the overlap. So he's always got to either put a cross in or try and take people on. He needs the third option. Whereas down the right-hand side, Dalot will go back and forward and back and forward. We don't have a left-back to do that at the moment, which is why we can accept that. But if you haven't got that, you need to go down the right a little bit more. Pelistri's not ready, says Deanne, but he's not getting the ball to be ready. Corner to Man United. Casemiro heads it over the bar. First half an hour, FC again. Too much fatigue. It seems like Rashford has been told to pass more, but that's not his strength, and now he won't shoot, says Ben. I don't think he's really had an opportunity to shoot at the moment. Anana needs to rectify next season. Not good enough. Should go for Magnan, and we cannot create anything. Rashford's too greedy, says Jay. The main problem is Bruno and Mount can never work, says Christopher. Amrabat should be playing the right back position. He is right-footed anyway, and Dalot would be helping Rashford a lot more, says Mario Franco. Yeah, interesting. Not gonna say it's not interesting. Oh, get that stretch on. The goals are coming. The lads will figure out the final third in the second half for sure. Says, yeah, I still think we'll win the game. I just think we've got to win. We've got to win. Like, it's not about thinking we'll win. We've got to win. You can't lose these sort of games. Everton have scored. Apparently. Comeback's on. But we need a Rashford goal, really. We just need to You know, that would be the spark. A Rashford goal. The goals are coming. The lads will figure it out, says Ice Cold. I've done that one, haven't I? Got to be careful of Casemiro on that yellow card as well. Really careful. Mark, what have you seen that makes you think we'll turn this game around? I've seen nothing but style, final third passing, sensor draw, says Nathan. I think look, I think we're a goal away from levelling it up and getting the momentum and confidence back, and hopefully this team can do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually a Garnacho or a Martial who changed the game. Need Garnacho on the left far better than Rashford, says Will. Arsenal have got a penalty apparently. Saka takes them, doesn't he? That'll be 2. I think we've lost our way. Intensity seems low, Beast. I think you're right. I think we've lost our way in the last few minutes in relation to Bruno and Mount. It's just not massively working, is it, at the moment? I think it's very easy for Palace to just keep their shape and counter. And I think they'll get. I tell you what, I think they will get a chance on the counter. AB has just gifted 5 memberships. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much for that. Bloody Roy Hodgson, still going. Might as well call him Duracell. Into Casemiro. Bad pass. Passing in the final third. Panicking in the final third. Need to try and find some momentum. Palestri again, another loose pass. Rasmus won't get onto it. It's just not breaking for us at the moment. Lots and lots of possession. Just can't break him down, really. And look, he's got nothing. Amrabat needs to angle his run there and go behind Rashford. Someone needs to be going behind Rashford there. That's a simple foul given up. What we got? Half time. Fucking hell. I'm erming here. This is not looking good. Nice ball out to Delo. Get your head up. Didn't get his head up there. Put it into the right area, but didn't get his head up. Rashi and Bruno do have great moments, but I'm starting to see that they don't work in this team. I'd love to see them both replaced, says Shane. Cross comes in from Delo. Easily dealt with again. With Amrabat dropping into midfield all the time, Mount needs to make the overlapping runs for Rashford, says Cool. Don't disagree. I was hesitant to listen to the podcast at first, but gave it a shot yesterday. It's very good. Good job, says Maguire's mum. I love the name. Thank you. Why didn't Ten Hag use the same lineup as the cup game? It obviously works, says Jackson. No, it's not. Football's not that simple, Jackson. What? So you're going to play Mabry, Maguire, Yeah, come on, mate. AU is only looking to go down, diving so much. Raheem Sterling vibes. Need to get Palestri into the game, says CC. Chances of Rashford playing the full 90. Wrong answers only, says AM. Well, of course he will. Of course he will. He'll be the substitution that's made. Oh, Solihull Moors are losing 1-0 to York. That's a bad result. Don't want that to happen. What subs would you make at half-time? Well, we'll talk about that at half-time because half-time is going to be with us very, very soon. We're just clueless in the final third. It really does remind me of my EAFC Man United career mode, and it's making me feel, a little bit better because obviously it's in the DNA. We're just clueless in the final third. There's just nothing going on. There's no plan of attack. It's been going on for years. And we're not attacking the Stretford end in the second half. That's not normally what happens. Rashford down again. I mean, I think for me, it's getting to the point where Rashford comes off. Like, how many more hits is he going to take? And he's taken a few hits. Could have been a red. Rashford's like showing his leg to the referee. I don't know why they've not looked at that. Got a yellow. Didn't look like a red to me, if I'm being honest. Wolves are still beating Man City, if that makes you feel any better. It never does when we're losing ourselves. And we all know that Man City will find a way to score a goal. Terrible free kick. And that's half-time. Players go in at half-time. I think he'll make changes. I think he has to make changes. My fear is that the changes he makes will not probably be the changes that you want to see. Let me take that out for a little moment. But, I've been saying this for so long, and it's really important to add a bit of context here as well. Let's put the stats up at half-time. Let me pause it there. The possession, look, you can read United like a book. And let me tell you what that book is all about, because there's a couple of chapters. First of all, 0-0, 83% possession. Crystal Palace score goes down to 73% possession. 0-0, they haven't even had a shot. 1-0, they've now had 4. There's a mental block with this team. As soon as they concede a goal, I mean, how this is the second home game in a row this has happened where it's 0-0 and we've got more possession. The opposition scores, Brighton and Palace, and our possession stats go down. If anything, when you go 1-0 down, you should get more into the game at home. And we've got this amazing talent of losing possession when we go behind. And that, to me, is a mental block in the team. Just complete and utter mental block. The second chapter has been going on for a long time. We are not very good at creating chances, and it's a huge issue. Like, we do not create good chances. You look at that half of football, where were the big chances in that game? I can't think of a big chance. Now, people will wrongly label the Højlund chance as a big chance. It's not a big chance. It's a good ball that he does really well to get a toe on. But he can't put any direction on it, and he certainly can't put any power on it. And I tell you what, the defender that clears it off the line for Palace, he could have gone and made himself a cup of tea and still cleared it off the line. The power was never going to take it in. That's not a good chance. That's a half chance. It's not a good chance. So where's the big chance that came for United? I think a couple of headers from Casemiro from corners, they're set pieces. So basically, 45 minutes at Old Trafford, we've created nothing that you would go, we should have scored there. And that's the problem. The same thing happened against Brighton. 15 minutes, we were good, but we're hyping up possession and pass accuracy. We're not creating big chances, and we haven't done that for years. Didn't do it under Mourinho. Certainly didn't do it under Ollie. We're not doing it under Ten Hag. We don't create chances. So you've got to look at why we don't create chances. And you've got to look at, is there any evidence from Solskjaer, Rangnick and Ten Hag as to why we're not creating chances? Why is the number 9 shirt a graveyard shift? And I think the evidence is clearly there. We are not very good at being creative in the final third. We are not confident, we are not relaxed, and we don't seem to know the plan. And I think in that case, obviously people will instantly look at someone like Marcus Rashford, but we don't have any composure in the final third. We don't actually seem to know what we're doing in the final third. It seems to be very, make it up as we go along. And I don't like the way that we've set up today. I don't personally think Crystal Palace are really that concerned. I don't think Crystal Palace are thinking, oh, this is difficult. I still think we can win this game, and I think we have to win this game, and I think a draw is a bad result. But if I was the manager, the change I would make is Rashford for Garnacho, not because I don't like Rashford, but because I think he's too predictable, and I think he's just getting kicks from pillar to post. I'd bring Garnacho on, and I'd tell somebody to start overlapping past Garnacho, because you need to have that. I'd also say let's start using the right-hand side a little bit more as well. But we're going to be reliant on this in this second half on maybe a penalty, maybe a moment of brilliance by one player, because I can't keep saying this. Well, we can't keep saying this. We don't create good chances. We don't put teams under pressure in and around the penalty box. They give us the ball where they're happy for us to have the ball. And as much as I liked 83% possession and 95% pass accuracy, you ain't getting that in the final third. Crystal Palace ain't going to let you have 95% pass accuracy and 83% possession in the final third. That's obviously happening in the first 2/3 of the pitch where they're happy for us to have it. And you can run away. You can run away with pass accuracy, but if you don't take risks and you don't know what your patterns are, this is the problem. The half-time talk usually gets the team turned on, says what they're doing, watching Pornhub. Enough is enough. Rashford is a totally poor. Everyone thinks he's the masterclass player, but where are the goals, the assists? Let's stop being stupid and start with a little practicality, says Adam. Common theme across these managers is Rashford. He doesn't provide service until we go down, says Mike. We need 95 shapeshifter Maguire at striker, says Epstein. No, Eriksen's still dominated in the midfield. Our rotation side looked better than this. Mount is a waste, so is Rashford, but Ten Hag trying to make it, says Zidane. If we don't know what we're doing in the final third, that's on the coaches, not on the players. The players should have patterns of play, says James. And Dalot and Palestri have done well going forward in previous matches and can create chances, but we keep going down the left. It's too predictable, says Urban. Well, look, the same way PSG are very reliant on Mbappe, the same way that, any team with Messi in it is reliant on Messi. It's very obvious that Man United are very reliant on Marcus Rashford, and it's very obvious that Marcus Rashford is the star player. He probably won't get subbed off today. Hopefully, he will score the goals, and that will justify that. But he probably won't get substituted off. We go down that side a ridiculous amount of times. If you look at the first half. And I'm doing this blind here, but Marcus Rashford has had 39 touches on the ball and Palestri's had 27. That should be way more balanced than it actually is. Dalot's had 46 and Amrabat has had 67. So we are going down the left-hand side a lot more than we are down the right-hand side. And we should be balancing that up, especially when we don't actually have a left-back. That should be balancing itself out a lot more than it actually is. Rashford's decision-making is the worst, as I've ever seen. Look, I think people jump on Marcus Rashford's back way too much. I think there's a player there that runs hot and cold. It's a bit like a hot water tap, isn't it? If you don't put the heating on, it will run cold. And I think Rashford, I did a video on Rashford 2 weeks ago and he'd scored 4 goals in his last 20 games. So he hasn't scored since then either. Personally, you've got to think about the team. And it's a balancing act, isn't it? Marcus Rashford, many times, has scored the goals that have put us in this position. Last season, Champions League, 3rd place. You're balancing as to whether you bring Garnacho on and go for a bit more balance in the attack, or whether you keep your best star player on and hope that he produces a moment of magic. And that's the decision for Ten Hag. And many of you would be saying take Rashford off, but I can see why he doesn't. Because, you know, he's the star player of the team. And of course, he's got a... I'm not saying for 1 minute Ten Hag is a coward, but he has had a lot of problems recently with players. Can he afford to start dropping Marcus Rashford? I mean, that's a very big decision to make. Can you start taking Marcus Rashford off at half-time? That's a very big decision to make. I mean, he dropped him last season for being late for training. Why wouldn't you do that? But I don't think we're going to start seeing that. I'd like to see Martial come on the left wing. He can play 1-2s. You know what, Sean? I don't know how many people agree with me, but I actually think Martial might be quite important in this game. I can see Rashford. I can see Martial coming on and soon, because the big misconception about Martial is that he's a bad player. He's an injury-prone player. He's not a bad player. And in these sort of games where Crystal Palace are basically playing 2 banks of 4, or a 4 and a 5 and a 1, and countering, they're setting a shape, and they're setting quite a narrow shape. Palace as well. I don't know whether you've noticed that. They're making quite a narrow shape because they know we're not going to overlap. So they're narrow. They don't need to go wider to worry about the overlap down the left-hand side. So they're playing quite narrow, quite concise. The only way to beat a team like that is to have people who can control the ball tight and play little intricate 1-2s. Bruno doesn't do that. Mount's not doing it. Rashford's not doing it. We're not using Pellistri, and you know, Højlund is, you know, not in the game. So I think I mean, I hate to say it, but if Jadon Sancho had done the job he was meant to do, he'd be very good against this sort of low block. But Martial's probably the best player we've got on the bench against the low block. De Gea saved 75% of the goals we conceded this season. First and foremost, the keeper has to be able to keep ball play as a luxury, says Archie. The thing about Onana is, and I haven't seen that goal back, I think he should have done better. But the thing about Onana is maybe De Gea was a better shot stopper. And what are we getting from a ball-playing goalkeeper? We're not playing out from the back anyway. We're not playing a high line anyway. This whole sweeper-keeper thing, we're not even using it. It's not just on Rashford. Almost every long ball from the midfield goes to the left. That's either tactical, says Ben. I think it is, yeah. Bruno as a cam needs to come deep for the ball. We need to be fluid in the build-up phase. We are too static and predictable, says Christopher. Watch Rashford play the full 90. Ten Hag's obsession with him needs to stop, says Zoltan. Hi, Mark. I missed the first half. How are we playing? Is anybody playing well, says Als. Take Bruno off if he destroys the balance in the midfield, says Jay. And Mark, we've got so many narrow wins last season that will harm us this season. What are your thoughts, says Pre? Well, we're probably going to have to do it again. What were my thoughts on the game? I think that... have we just had a problem with the stream, by the way? I think we did. Let me just double check. No, it's fine. I think it might have dropped out a minute. Just refresh. We seem to have a problem there. I think with Rashford... we're lacking creativity in the midfield, says Mwai. And hi Mark, it's clearly not only Rashford's fault. I've done that one from Buster Boy. And Erik Ten Hag has no style of play. He gave Rashford, Bruno new contracts and trusted them. He spent 50 on Mount. Erik Ten Hag responsible for signings and tactics, says Ibrahim. But if you've seen Erik Ten Hag manage Ajax, he does have a style of play. Jump says, I hope it isn't strategy. He does have a style of play. That's irresponsible and a lie to say that he doesn't have a style of play. What we do have is... I've got no problem with the stream here, so I think it might just be a YouTube issue, hopefully. If you refresh, it will be fine. I've lost my track there because there was a good super chat. Garnacho, brace off the bench. I'm speaking it into existence, says Will. Thanks for the super chat, Will. Narrow wins. Take Bruno off. Lack of coaching. No Eriksen. I can't remember what I was going to say. There was something really, I really wanted to say, and I can't see what it was. Do you reckon the number 9 is a graveyard shift because we don't attack down the middle often? Says Alexander. It's always a cross. Something is wrong when your defensive midfielder is your biggest threat, says Charlie. And I love Rashford. He's my favourite player on this team. But what do you think about the possibility of selling Rashford and bringing in 2 or 3 players, says Zeus? There's two big factors for me. One, remind me of Amrabat. One is not a fact. Is not a bad thing. One, we don't move the ball quick enough. Like, I don't care whether it's amateur football, EAFC, Man United. We don't transition quick enough in possession unless it's a long ball for somebody to sprint onto. And what I mean by that is, once we hit the final third, we become very slow and static, and it allows the opposition to set their shape. We don't take enough risks because we don't know the pattern of play we want to do. You look at someone like Man City, they're brilliant at it. In the final third, everybody knows what they're meant to do. It'll be a little pass here, I'm going to move here, I'm going to give you a space here, but it'll create space for them. Everybody's moving in a pattern. Everybody is moving. It's not as simple as going 1-2, give me the ball, pass me into space. You can't do that at that level, but there's a methodology to what people do. We don't move the ball quick enough, and we don't know what we're doing with it. That's been a problem for years. The second factor, I think, as well, is how much better would we be if we had Amrabat next to Casemiro and Bruno or Mount in a freer role? Bruno and Mount are sort of stuck between a halfway house at the moment. They're defensively working, but they're also the attack. I think if you had Amrabat and Casemiro sat there in the midfield doing the hard work and left your attacking midfielder with a bit more freedom, then you'd have a better, quicker connection with your number 10. There's an isolation for the number 9 in a short answer. We isolate our number 9 because the midfield 3 have to work so hard. I think that's a problem. Mark, look, what an impact the new Spurs manager has had in such a short space of time. Would do better. Well, Tom, the factor with the Spurs side is that they have Basuma and Sarr, who do all the hard work, and Maddison has a lot more space and freedom to link up with the attack. Do you think we'll even get a European spot at this rate, says Malak? We've got to win today. We've got to win today. If I show you this, as it stands, that don't look good. That does not look good. We're down to 10th, and we're a long way off where we need to be. So we've got to win. Mount is anonymous, says Yuki. Get him off. Thanks for the super chats. Ten Hag is definitely not the problem. Injuries list as long as Antonio, and more of off-field bollocks than any manager should have to deal with, says Funky. We might have the ball pass accuracy, but we're really slow. We need to press hard and play with higher intensity, says Ankit. I agree. I think we're so slow in that final third. It's problematic. Still haven't seen Rashford put in a cross cutback all season. Rasmus 0 service. How is he supposed to contribute, says Stevie? The goal's not Onana's fault, Mark. It's a deflection off Dalot's shoulder. That's why Onana's initial movement was to go low. Just watch it back, says SK. Obviously, I haven't seen it back, so I'll take your word for it. No substitutions for Manchester United at half-time. A shame, yes. I would like to have seen some. Rasmus driving down the right-hand side. Where's the support there, though? Where's the support for Rasmus there? Let's get this stats carousel moving around. In the other games, if you're interested, it is 2-1 between Everton and Luton. We've got to win this. Calvert-Lewin scored. Goldbridge saves football. What did I tell you? I went with that one. And I think I went with Saka. So Goldbridge Saves Football podcast, we play a game where you have to pick 5 goal scorers from the weekend. Saka and Calvert-Lewin were definitely 2 of mine, so I've got those straight away. Arsenal are winning 2-0 against Bournemouth. Rashford doesn't look fit to me. He always looks like he's limping, doesn't he? Wolves are still beating Man City. West Ham are beating Sheffield United 2-0. Newcastle are beating Burnley 1-0. And of course, Manchester United are losing to Crystal Palace. Rashford's limping, says Gortha. I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with keeping a player on who don't look fit. Why take the risk? Mount off for a centre-back, Lindelof to the left and Amrabat into midfield, Garnacho for Rashford. Tuesday kept switching to the right and stretching Palace with Rashford on. We keep going to him and it's not working, says Meki. Should have played Delo left-back, Palestri right-back, Amrabat in the middle, says Sean Dunn. To make matters worse, Lee Hendry and Tony Jones are on commentary here in the US. Can I get a bloody hell for this dreadful partnership, says Fernando. Al says, the style of play under Ten Hag at Ajax was attractive, attacking football. United just don't have the players for this right now. I agree. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I don't think we've got the players for it. AB's just gifted 5 memberships. Yeah, I don't think we've got the players to play the brand of football that Pep Guardiola would want to play, or De Zerbi would want to play, or Ten Hag wants to play. I just don't think we've got those players. And Arna's on the halfway line now. Well, I think people are too eager. People are too eager to individualise the problem as well. Rashford's the problem. Bruno's the problem. Mount's the problem. It's never that simple. It's never that simple. And also the problem's been going on for more than 12 months. It's transcended managers. We had this problem. I think we had this problem with Jose. I think we certainly had this problem with Solskjaer. We haven't been probably had it with Van Gaal, and we certainly probably had it with Moyes. We haven't been a team. I mean, it's amazing actually. Here's a statement for you. Man United haven't been a team that regularly creates good chances for a decade. Tell me I'm wrong. Like I don't remember many games in the last 10 years where we've created chances, good chances. I just don't. Every team seems to have a distinguished style of play, except for United, says Malika. Well, and that's a solution. You know, that's not a solution. That's an evidential point that good tackle by Bruno. What is our style of play? We don't really have a style of play, do we? I watched Brighton lose 6-1 and I saw their style of play. You can still get beaten badly and have a style of play. I know what Brighton's style of play is. I know what Villa's style of play is. I can see the pattern in Spurs. I can see it with Arsenal. I don't see United's style of play. I don't. There's a lot of hesitancy as they hit the final. I mean, they're in the final third now, right? I should know what we're going to try and do. And I don't. I don't see it. Are we trying to work the ball wide to put a cross in? Are we trying to play intricate one-touch passing around the edge of the box? Or are we just getting it to Rashford or Bruno or Anthony or whoever else and hoping that they produce a moment? And I think it's the latter. I think that's what we do. We get the ball in the final third and hope that somebody will produce an amazing cross or an amazing shot or something like that. But there doesn't ever seem to be a defined pattern. And there should be. Patterns are not predictable if you're good at them. Everybody knows what Brighton are trying to do. Everyone knows what Pep's trying to do. Still won a bloody treble doing it. Look, Man City try and work situations to get Erling Haaland in with a good chance. They won a bloody treble doing it. It's not predictable. Why the hell? It is predictable, but it's very successful. Why the hell do we keep moving the ball back so much? Just feels so sluggish. Says some. It's like watching me play EAFC. Loads of possession, can't create chances. The only was I saying playing in the Champions League next season is if we win it, says Adam. It's like watching episode 5 of Goldbridge's career mode. The thing is, though, Rubble, that will be episode 5 of my career mode, but I guarantee on episode 6, I'll have figured it out. You know, I'm putting the hours in, Rubble. People individualise players, but these owners buy big-name players to play them out of position, and people are surprised, says the Connor. And I think it's either Bruno or Mount, both playing an imbalanced team, says AKA. Yeah, well, we just look very imbalanced today. Our style of play is living on a prayer in the final third, says Jenna. I think Arsenal have got another penalty. Mark, surely top talents can adapt to a style of football. Footballing IQ, adaptability, says Geordie. No, look, Geordie, depends how good the players are that you've got. You know, Harry Kane's not very quick, is he? You can't say to Harry Kane, stand on the last man and wait for the ball over the top. He's never going to do it. You know, some players have different strengths and capabilities. Doesn't mean they're not very good players. Mark, just want to get your honest opinion on Mount. What's he actually bringing to the team, says Rez. My honest opinion on Mason Mount is that I was shocked by the signing, and I can't change that. I liked him at Chelsea. I was very surprised that we went for him. Ten Hag is obsessed with him. It's one of those signings that's got to work, because when you make a signing that the fans aren't really sure about, then it's a risk. And look, it's still very early days for Mason Mount. I mean, he literally played his first game on Tuesday from injury. So it's you can't call Mount a failure or a flop. It's his first proper game today, really. But I don't really know how it's going to work long term. I don't know where he fits in. Is the honest answer. Mark, just want to get you. I've done that one from Reswin. Good question. What do you think is going wrong today, says Brian? Same thing that goes wrong all the time. No creativity in the final third. No composure in the final third. Conceding first and allowing a team to just dig in, and we struggle against the low block. There's nothing new about this. We've been seeing these performances for a long time. Look, I know we've already had the Brighton game, which was a drubbing. I said at the start of the season, hold on, here's Højlund into Pellistri, lovely little play, edge of the box. It's got to be worth a shot. Blocked. I said it at the start of the season, we'll continue to have the same problems. Bruno, good save by the keeper. We'll continue to have these problems. We'll continue to get beaten. We will get beaten badly by somebody again in the next probably 2 months. I think a lot of the problems of United are still there. This inability to create chances consistently in the final third. This consistent problem of heads dropping. But this is Crystal Palace at home. Like, this is not Man City. This is not Liverpool. Like, we should be beating these teams. To have a consistent pattern of play, at least 6 or 7 players need to be perfect at their role, and it just comes down to not having the right players, says Dowell. Another good chance with a header, Højlund. Have you ever been to Poland, Mark? If not, come on over. I'll show you around. We'll have a pint, and I'll take you to my local club for a match, says Adam. Sounds lovely. Every game, almost, it's like they seem to just wing it. Surely Ten Hag doesn't accept it unless that's what he wants, which I highly doubt. So why does it keep happening, says Malika. 57 minutes, I'd be thinking about subs now. Freddie, thank you very much for your super chat. Mark, if we get rid of the Glazers and got a Qatari ownership, how long do you think it would be before we see the effects of that, says Joe. Well, look at Newcastle. It can be relatively instantaneous, but title winnings probably takes a few years. Arsenal are 3-0 up. Was it another penalty? Saka, Odegaard, Havertz. I thought Saka took the penalties. Why is Havertz taking penalties? Fucking hell, Arteta's such a beg. Oh, I've got to make my new signing work. Let Saka take the penalties. Feeling sorry for Havertz already, so they have to let him take the pens. Feeling sorry for United here. Rashford's in on the left-hand side. He wants a penalty. They're trying to get a penalty here, Man United. They need a penalty. They'll go to VAR. We're hoping we're going to get a penalty here for United. Surely. That's a stone wall. Let's have a... Let's see. I don't know... Well, I don't know where the penalty is, actually. Rashford's asking for it. I mean, am I right in thinking that the ball travels 30 yards and hits his hand? I don't know what's gone on there. I'm trying to read the chat. Why Ten Hag accepted the job if he knows the players aren't good enough for his style? Was he lied to by Arnold about investments? Says Ravi. Well, he's had a bit of money, mate. I'm confused about that. It looks like the ball travelled 30 yards and hit the player on the hand, and he wasn't looking. Well, surely the distance of the travel of the ball, if it hits his hand, makes it a penalty. I'm not sure about that. Eric Ten Hag watching the United stand. Bruno deep in midfield. That might be one to look at. Well, Gabriel's got it spot on. So if you're not looking at the ball, it can't be a handball. Palestri's been brought off. If he doesn't bring in Garnacho, well, Garnacho's on for Palestri. Maguire's mum. Look, the reason that's a stonewall penalty for me is because the ball travels about 30 yards and hits the player on the hand. I don't care whether he's looking or not. So if I've got my hand up in the box but I'm not looking and it hits my hand, you know, that's how stupid that is. Like, it can't be about whether the player is looking or not. That's ridiculous. It's about whether it hits his hand and whether he could have avoided hitting his hand. And the bottom line is, it's not our fault that he's had 30 yards to adjust his position and it's hit his hand, and it's obviously I just despair. How is Romero a handball last week then? And that's not. Do you think selling Fred was a mistake in games like this? Says Funky. Well, Fred wanted to play football. Rashford's gone to the right wing now. Another VAR decision goes against us. This wasn't a penalty now, and the one against Bayern was. I agree with you, podcast. VAR must be cancelled, says Adam. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Goldbridge Says Football. Appreciate that. Refs are just looking at out of there after their mates. Mark, come on, cut them some slack, says Malika. And defender should not be bailed out by the refs. He was in the air forever and it hit his hand. Shouldn't matter how close his hand is to his body. Palace are on the attack. Got to be careful. Will Hughes straight at the keeper. You know, anything on target worries me. Really does. Please put Amrabat in the midfield and Mount right instead of Rashford, says Dave. Is it because he wasn't facing the ball? Doesn't most players turn away when it's hit at them? Stung again by VAR. But Wolves should have had a penalty, says Jake. Yeah, you know this Wolves should have had a penalty. It's cost us about 4 goals already. I don't even care if Wolves should have had a penalty. We've been punished about 5 times because of it. We'll never win anything with Bruno and Rashford, says Eric. It's simple. 4 previous managers, 4 different styles of play. Players from those 4 previous managers still at the club. Poor owners, weak admin, and fans still wonder what the problem is. Red since 1975. I applaud that. I really, really do. It's a great, great point. They've just nearly scored from a corner, Crystal Palace. They've had good chances as we have. Front post flick. I've spoken about this before. The bottom line is, it's like Manchester United are like a jigsaw puzzle, in the sense that we have had 4 managers who've spent a lot of money, and it gets to a point that with every new manager you bring in, because the club won't sell players, you know, we've seen it with Maguire, he's not a Ten Hag signing, Sancho's not a Ten Hag signing, that you end up with all these pieces of a jigsaw that don't obviously fit into one picture, but you're asked to put a picture together from all these different pieces of the jigsaw. VAR against United as always, says Mud. We need a goal now. We need a goal now because we need a win, not a draw. This is corruption now. How is it that not a penalty every damn week? Romero one is a penalty North London derby, but this isn't. It needs investigation, says Danish. Well, at the end of the day, I'm the representative on TV on Monday morning. They call it Ref Watch, but let's be honest, it's Propaganda Watch. I've seen what's happened there, and you know what? He's confused. The ball's travelled a long way. He doesn't know whether he's playing football or netball. It's hit his hand, and in the rules of netball, you're allowed to touch it with your hand. So it's not a penalty, it's netball. Thank you. Dermot Gallagher. It's simple. Don't give VAR decisions to Man United. No media trial for referees, says Assad. Mark, are you scared real life Alana will perform like your EAFC one? Well, I've dumped him for Binder. Hi Mark, can you wish my brother Alex a happy birthday? Such a great lad and rocks a pink Levi's t-shirt very well, says Gabe. There we go. And do you notice how often Onana parries into danger, says Dean? Yeah, I was worried with that Will Hughes shot. Oh, I feel so bad. I did a watch along on That's Football and I had a Preston fan saying, can you wish Preston luck? They're at home to West Brom. It's 3-0 to West Brom. The jinx is real. We should, you know what though, the VAR decisions are disgusting, but the other thing I would say is we shouldn't need them to beat Crystal Palace at home. And I sort of agree with Kelly, who says penalty means excuses. Arsenal beating Bournemouth 3-0 away. Everton are still losing to Luton 2-1 at home. Newcastle are still beating Burnley 1-0. West Ham are still beating Sheffield United 2-0. Man City have equalised against Wolves. They'll obviously get a winner at some point as well. You know, that was written in the stars a long time ago. Alvarez scored the goal. City are so good, you could actually put Alvarez and Haaland in your fancy Premier League team and you'd get loads of points. Garnacho, good cross. Amrabat shaves the bar, but he's already given a foul. I don't know what we're moaning about. Like, we're not going to get a penalty for this, and it wasn't going for a corner either. So why are we moaning? Just get on with the fucking game. Up the Brisbane Broncos, giddy up for the grand final tonight, says James. The astrology says it's not complicated. United fans say back the manager, but when you back the manager in the transfer window, an unbalanced squad is created over a long period of time. Alex says the mainstream media is kicking their chops. You won't be able to turn on telly or open your phone without someone calling for Ten Hag's head, says Alec. Spurs Liverpool score prediction, says BS. I don't know what the referee's doing here. He's doing a drop ball. Doing a drop ball. Oh, Wolves have scored. They're 2-1 up. Sorry, I'm focused on the Man United game. Apologies. Wolves have scored again. 2-1. Hwang Hee-chan. Don't say that too late. Too fast. Well, it's good for Liverpool. It's good for Arsenal, potentially. It's not good for us, is it? We're a mid-table club. We need to keep an eye on, well, Palace. 20 minutes to go. I mean, where do, you know, honestly, where do you put the blame for this? Honest questions, where do you put your blame for this? Because I can't be bothered with, there's not an obvious scapegoat. Like, it's not like, you know, all right, maybe we could have marked better on the goal. Maybe the keeper could have done better. But in a Premier League game, you might expect to concede a goal. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I think defensively, you know, Varane, Lindelof, done well. Casemiro, you know, defensively, I think we've done our job. For me, it's the offensive side of things. There's not enough creativity. I mean, Mason Mount's got to score that. That's a lovely cross by Delo, and he's got to score. I fear this is the beginning of the end for Ten Hag. Potter incoming, says Inbred. He's got to score that. He's got to score that. Blame the rain. It's a lovely cross by Delo. It's right on his head. It's got to score. Mark, we only have a team in the first 2/3 because I can't understand the disconnect there in the final third, says Sam. And this is the problem. I think this is the problem. I think the creativity in the final third is so disjointed. I mean, Marcus Rashford's gone to the right-hand side. He won't want to be on the right-hand side. He won't want to be there. You know, for me, Delo's had another good game. Amrabat's out of position, as we know. What we got? 20 minutes to go. In my opinion, the problem is the final third. We just stand still, no movement at all, says Ankit. I think. Look, I'm not going to bother tweeting it. We've got a lot of people watching here. I said it 20 minutes ago. I said it at half time. A lot of you agreed. Anthony Martial in a game might be quite useful in a game like this where you need some intricate little build-up play. And the reason Martial's not on, because he wants to keep Højlund on for the physicality. And he won't take Rashford or Bruno or Mount off. So, hence, that we will not see Martial. He backs himself into corners with the subs. Like, it's why we haven't seen Garnacho as much. Because he can't take Bruno off. He can't take Rashford off. He won't take Mount off. So you end up in a situation where the only sub he can do is Rasmus, but he obviously doesn't want to take Rasmus off because Palace are physical. So you keep Rasmus on. I can't put Martial on now because I can't take Rashford off. I can't take Bruno off. I can't take Mount off. And really, you should just take Rashford off for Martial. The handball rule is so inconsistent. Last season, Martinez went in for a slide tackle and the ball was shot as it arm and the ref called a pen, says Zeus. Up the Brisbane Broncos, do it for the Lions and New Zealand Warriors, says Jake. Martial should be on by now. 72 minutes. I don't get it. I don't get why we've only made one substitution as well. I mean, no wonder we pick up... I'd love somebody to do a piece, actually, on how many subs we average per game when there's an increased workload. For me, Rashi attack breaks down 9 times out of 10, says Jonathan. Well, I think Rashford stays on for the reason I said at half time. It's for that moment, isn't it? When's Mount coming on, says Fred. Yeah, thanks for that. Rashford just kills our attacking chances if he is the one bringing the ball in the box. Oh, I thought it was in. I thought it was in. Garnacho down the left-hand side, doing what he does, making things happen. Cross the 6-yard box, catches a defender of Palace. Looks like it's going to be an OG. Goes just wide and for a corner. Corpus says Rashford just kills our attacking chances if he's the one bringing in the... Thanks. Ball into the box, he scores or loses it and hasn't been scoring, says Corpus. We are so bad at breaking through the lines and overcomplicate a game. They should be simple with our talent. Playing to the 9's feet, back into Eriksen, Bruno or Mount, says Ian. The Broncos got a lucky forward pass, says Flynn. You know, we can't be losing this game. I'm not... You know, we can't even be drawing this game. Like, we needed to beat Burnley, Palace, Brentford, Sheffield United just to get our season back on some sort of firm ground. You can't be losing these games. You can't lose to Palace at home. I'm getting tired of undroppable maggots, says Enjoy Writing. The thing is, Salah would be off if it was Klopp. Pep, 100% would take him off. We've got a manager who won't take off certain players no matter what they're doing. And therefore, you can't get other players on. Mark, if you could transfer any 2 players to fix this team, who would you buy and sell, says Reza. Too big a conversation for now, Reza. I don't want to bat it, but, you know... It's a long thought process, that. I mean, we need a bloody left-back for a start. Even with Rashford on the right, we're still going down the left a lot. So clearly that must be what Erik Ten Hag wants them to do, says Uncle Drew. How many losses is Lindelof going to be starting in until we question why he remains in the team? Oh, come on, Prem. That's such a bad take. I'm sorry. Is Victor Lindelof the reason that we're not scoring at home? You know, in the Premier League, there's a very good chance you'll concede a goal. Man City have just conceded 2 at Molineux. Like, you will concede goals in the Premier League. You have to score. Victor Lindelof is not there to score goals for Man United. Jonathan says, I get the Moments FC was supposed to be over with Ali. That's going to be a foul by Mount, and he's going to get booked as well. To be for real, Ten Hag needs to sign Ronaldo back, says Turning 9. It is a yellow card. Could have broke his leg, actually. Fucking hell. Anderson. Look, I'm a big, massive fan of Erik Ten Hag. You know I am. But Newcastle have just scored. I'm a massive fan. Martial's coming on now for Mount. And Rashford's off. Should have done it 10 minutes ago. Thanks. I mean, they're the right subs, but I just don't. I think we've left it too late. Right, come on. I think we've got a chance now. I think they're the right subs. Eriksen for Mount, Rashford for Martial. I think these are the right subs. It's just whether we've got the time to do it. We've only got 13 minutes, probably another 8. So 20 minutes. I would have liked to see this done 10 minutes ago. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, we're getting very close to 1.75 million. In fact, we're only 10 away from 749,000. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to whack the player ratings in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I'll sort that now. Let me put them in video description. "12 minutes to go. Manchester United. Rangnick's better than Ten Hag," says Malaka. Let me just whack these in. Another yellow card here. I mean, I'm not going to moan too much. It's not my style. I'm not going to moan too much about the fact that we should definitely have had a penalty. There's no doubt about that. Player ratings is in the video description. Mark every player at 10, 6 being the average. Brisbane Broncos would run circles around United. Brisbane Broncos have had more mentions than Mason Mount in this game, Brad. Mark, missed the days we had Fellaini in the box and Ashley Young on the wing, says Mark Friedman. Well, Palace have got a chance to whip a cross in here. Remember, we conceded from a set piece already. And, dear. Is this the end of Rashford, says Oak? No. He'll be under criticism, but I think Ten Hag's going to get a lot more. And I can't really defend this, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't actually see a huge problem with the team that he's picked. Back our manager, says Tom. Oh, I don't think anybody's talking about sacking the manager apart from idiots. I mean, that you know, let's be honest, it would be completely stupid to be thinking about sacking a manager, but it is an unacceptable performance. To lose at home to Crystal Palace with a whimper, it's stupid. And you know, I'd have gone out in the Carabao Cup and took the points today, no doubt about that. And I don't think a point's a good result either. Obviously we're going to take that right now, but you know, I don't think it's a good result, and we're not even at that anyway. Doesn't look like we're going to do it either. Nice little breakaway here. Come on, use it. This is Martial nearly trips Garnacho up. This is where you've got to score. Better ball. It's got to be a better ball there. We've got them stretched. Fucked it. Absolutely fucked it. That's where we've messed it up. We've caught them on the break. We've got a 3v3 and we fucked it up. Because we don't actually know what to do in them situations. This is the whole problem. We don't know what we're doing in the final third. You get into a situation where you've got to move it quickly and make the right runs. Martial ends up tripping Garnacho up. Why are you anywhere near him? You should be going in a different direction. You should be stretching them, giving Garnacho space. Fucking hell, 82. So we're going to go sort of 9. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Garnacho. You got to want it in there. You got to want it. You got to want it. Do you want it? I don't think they want it. I don't think they want it enough. That's the problem. They don't want it enough. Flynn says the Broncos got a lucky forward pass. I think I've said that before. Brisbane Broncos chat. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Casemiro should be off by now. Make-up calls by the ref, says Chris Cox. Ericsson's too slow, says Shiru. I said last night, you know, I back the manager. You know I do. I like a lot of these players, but I can see it a mile off. This is going to be a hard season. I can see it an absolute mile off. Can we bring Fellaini back, says Mark. Martial got in 5 minutes ago and he's already static and walking the pitch, says Germo. And what? We've had 625 passes to their 198. We've created 4 chances. It's pathetic, says Mank in Chicago. I've not even looked at the stats. Come on. Cross comes in. No one there. Let's go back to that. No. Rasmus! No. Didn't connect. Needed to connect. I was looking for a penalty. It didn't come. Put the cross in, Bruno. Martial, it's got to go wide. It's got to go wide. Why is he shooting from there? He's got to go to Garnacho on the left-hand side. Bad decisions again. It's just, you know, it's panic football. No, it just didn't connect. Rasmus just didn't connect. There's not a penalty there. Didn't connect. Not knowing what to do up front is on Ten Hag, says Kyle. Wolves of the Fortress are falling. Theatre of Depression, says Aaron. I don't know why Casemiro didn't go. Maguire. Well, this is interesting. Maguire's going up front. Maguire's going up front. So let me go back to the stats on this because somebody said I can't. I'm just going to leave this up on here now. So, yeah, 689 passes, 4 shots on target. Varane's coming off. Van der Beek is coming on. What? I don't get that. This is on Ten Hag. What do they practice in training, says Christopher. Who's Van der Beek coming on for? Maguire and Van der Beek now, says Daryl. Don't know. These are players he tried to sell in the summer. So we're 1-0 down at home, and we're taking off 2 players we tried to sell in the summer. He only brought Martial and Ericsson on with 10 minutes to go. I mean, just chaos. It's just chaos. Remember midweek when they were saying on the reaction show that we should look at dropping Bruno for Mount? I can't see anything that Mount brings to this team. Don't get me started on Rashford, says Sean. So he took both centre-backs off. Lindelof and Varane have gone off, so we can put Maguire at centre-back. I actually thought we were going to put Maguire up front. So we're playing Maguire at centre-back. Alex says this is on the Glazers. Imagine if Amrabat was in midfield and the progression he brings from left back. He's outstanding, says James. This is why I was pissed off about Amrabat at left back. Well, the Premier League looks good if you're not a Man United fan, because Man City are losing 2-1. Makes it interesting, doesn't it? Subs are baffling, says Funky. Mate, this is... If we get back into this game now, there's no logic. It's just vibes. Like, there's no logic to this now. If we win this game, if we draw it, it's like Burnley last week. There's no logic to it. It's just pure luck. We've gone past the point of getting back into the game because we played well. It's now just about disorganised chaos and can we score a couple of goals? Like, you know, I'll take it, but there's nothing to build on from this performance now other than positivity if you get a draw or a win. There's no structure to this team now. We've took both our centre backs off. Donny van der Beek's on the pitch. Maguire's on the pitch. Amrabat's still playing at left back. I wish we had Jimenez as an alternate striker. Any chance we could ask Fabrizio, says Georgie. Georgie. Well, how long's going to get added on? We can't use the rain as a bloody excuse. It's Manchester. It bloody rains all the time. Kay says, I kept saying this season I went to see attacking patterns of play. We've been living off moments and then those players got marked. We can't score, says Kay. Bring back Norman Whiteside, says Michael. Palace are on the attack here, and they've won a corner. How the hell is he only adding 4 minutes on? What the... I can't get my head around this. He's only added 4 on. I can't believe it. 4 minutes. They've been adding 10 on when nothing happens. 4 minutes. I can't... Even Maguire's saying there's been 6 subs. 4 minutes. How the hell has he added 4? I can't believe it. How the hell is there only 4? It's a joke. We're definitely being targeted here. Check this ref's bank account. Bloody, I can't believe they're only adding 4. I mean, I don't like 10 minutes being added on, but how can you only add 4 minutes? That's not a handball. His hands are in his chest. I'm stunned by that. I'm absolutely stunned. Only 6 for City as well. There was 8 at Villa, and it was 5-1. I mean, there should be at least 6. I don't want 12. I think that's stupid, but I can't get my hat on the fact there's only 4. Funky says I think there's a conspiracy. Like, 4 makes no sense. 4 doesn't make any sense. We've had loads of subs, loads of yellow cards, loads of time wasting. I mean, Ten Hag, look, at the end of the day, you can't... That's not a reason to lose the game, but I can't believe he's only added 4 minutes on. I mean, what have we had? What have we had? We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Man United subs, 7 subs altogether. It's the inconsistency, though. I don't mind if we're going to have 4 minutes added on in every game, but we're now used to having 10. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. It's going to be a really interesting season for United. There'll be more results like this, I'm telling you. Eric Ten Hag, gone by Christmas, says just football. I always feared that in the summer. They're on about giving him a new... Well, forget that. They're on about giving him a new... Oh, Maguire's just passed it off a Man United player for a throw-in. Don't clip that up. Palace wanted a penalty as well. Player ratings, links in the video description. I've got to do bloody call in on Talk Sport at 7:30. Fucking hell, man. It's over. It's over. They're on the attack, Palace, and it's the 4th minute. Hunter says maybe they listen to you. Mate, just absolute shite from United today. I mean, you know, we've had 700 passes and 4 chances. And we've lost. Crystal Palace have won. I sort of look at this game and I go, 219 passes for Palace. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think Ten Hag is the problem. Need to take advice from other teams, Arteta, and get rid of the rotten apples, says Austin. No, I agree. I agree. Look, a lot to talk about in the match reaction. In some ways, well, I'll talk about it at the start of the match reaction. There's something I want to say that sort of baffles me a little bit, but we'll talk about it in the match reaction. I'll be over there in a minute. Do your player ratings, links in the video description of this video and in that video. We'll see you over there in a minute. Thanks for watching.